So we're here today with Brooke Havana Bailey, performer, local performer as well. So hello Brooke.
Hello.
Hello, thank you so much for joining us today. So tell us a little bit about you and your career. I said you're a performer, but I know that kind of comes with a lot of strings to the bow. So singer, musical theatre performer, actor. Tell us a little bit about where your career started and how it started.
Yeah, so I started in musical theatre when I was 9. So I played the original Debbie Wilkinson in Billy Elliot the Musical in London's West End. And I did that for 2 years and then moved back to the Northeast, carried on with school. And then I went on to college and I trained at Italia Conti in London. And then from there I've done like cruises, more musicals, tours, films, lots of things.
Yeah, so you've been busy.
Yeah.
Amazing. So you said you got your first role in the West End version of Billy Elliot when you were just 9.
Yeah.
How did that come about then?
Literally, they were just advertising auditions in Newcastle. Obviously, being at little dance schools and things, I was like, Mum, I want to go. So she took me, got the job. Yeah, stayed there for 2 years, and I'm so grateful to the show because I think that was what taught me that this is a job. I can do this as a career. And then obviously was also lucky that from such a young age, knew exactly what I wanted to do and could focus all of my time on doing that.
Absolutely. And so did you always know that you could sing?
I always did like dance competitions and song and dance and would get singing lessons and things. But yeah, again, I think it was when I did go into Billy Elliot, that was when it really did become a thing that I was like, oh, I think I'm quite good at this.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It must have been so exciting.
Yeah.
And so how old were you when you moved to London?
9, yeah.
Okay.
So 9 for Billy. And then, my parents stayed in the Northeast and we had house chaperones and then we were so well looked after, it was amazing. Yeah. And then moved back to the Northeast at 11. Used to commute a lot for auditions or for jobs, but actually stayed living here till I was 19 and then moved back to London again independently.
Yeah, brilliant. And was that a kind of exciting prospect or was it a bit scary? Obviously being quite young by yourself in London, did you have a lot of contacts and friends there or was it something that you were just you just took the jump?
Yeah, I mean, in my head, I thought I was going to be okay because I've lived here before, totally forgetting that I had chaperones who did everything for me and I didn't cook or clean or wash or anything. So it was like I did become an adult very quickly, learning how to do everything myself. But yeah, I still did have a lot of friends who lived there, obviously made more friends at drama school. So it was fine. It was really exciting.
Brilliant. Oh, it sounds so exciting. I'm kind of thinking about it and imagining it. Honestly, it sounds amazing. So then when you graduated, what was kind of the next step for you? Did you find it quite easy to kind of walk into your first or second professional job? Like, what was the kind of steps that you had to go through?
So from Billy Elliot, I managed to get an agent. So before I went to drama school, I had filmed things I was in Waterloo Road and I'd filmed a series called Boy Meets Girl for BBC prior to going to drama school. And then after drama school, my first job after college was another musical and we did a UK tour. So that was really exciting. It was an 80s musical, so it was fab, so fun. And then after that, I went on to cruises, something that I, again, never thought I'd do. So that was amazing, like traveling the world and singing every night and having a great time seeing so many different countries. And then, like more TV work and more musicals. So yeah, it's just fun.
Oh yeah, it sounds amazing. So this is quite a hard question. What would you say you prefer? Is it stage or is it screen? What's kind of your natural comfort zone?
It's a hard one. I mean, I love the drama of the stage and the live audience obviously make theatre and that's what gives you the adrenaline to like carry on with the show, doesn't it, when you see people enjoying it. But then TV is also very exciting, but they're so different. Obviously theatre, it's live, you get one chance and that's what it has to be. Whereas TV, there's a bit more scope and it's like you can do more takes and kind of perfect it a bit more, I suppose.
Yeah. No, definitely. And again, I think it's another thing when you say to somebody, okay, I am an actor or I'm a singer, I'm a dancer, I'm a performer. I think the first thing that would come into their mind is, wow, she must be confident. She must, have all the confidence in the world. Is that true? Or would you say it's something that, you know, you've had to really work towards, and life experience has kind of added to that confidence? What would you say?
I think if somebody asked me to stand up and do a speech in front of people, I would be terrified. But if I was standing up doing a speech on a stage as a character, it's such a different feeling because I'm not playing myself.
Yeah.
So although I am confident, obviously, to audition or to interview and as myself in that way, you kind of have a little bit of an alter ego when you're performing that gives you the confidence to be that person. So I think, yeah, it is really common that people say you must be confident, where actually it's not always true.
Yeah, it's almost like your game face. When you're performing, you're at work.
Yeah.
And, you know, whatever is going on in your head, you leave at the door.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. And so, as somebody who's lived in London and travelled the world and also lived in the Northeast, what's the kind of comparison in opportunities? Obviously, down here, we are a little bit more enclosed in what we can, in the opportunities, I suppose, that are readily available as opposed to London and things. So what would you say are the benefits of being a performer based in the Northeast?
Yeah, I mean, we're lucky that there's a lot of established performers that are from here, so it's kind of known that there is a lot of talent here. And obviously also lucky that the train goes straight to London. If you needed to be there, you can be there in a few hours. But luckily for us, due to COVID, a lot of auditions or live streams, it's all being done online now. And I think, again, that's helping kind of expand everyone's knowledge as to where talent is. And you can stand in your sitting room and do an audition on Zoom. And it's just like crazy, like you could never do that before.
Definitely. Yeah. No, I absolutely agree. And I do think there's something at the moment with that, almost the barrier between the Northeast and then London. It doesn't seem as big anymore because everyone's almost limited as to where they can travel, what jobs they can book, and you know what jobs there are available. So I suppose whether you're based in Northeast or London, we're all pretty much as performers in the same boat.
Definitely, and even casting directors, like a lot of them aren't even based in London anymore, which is also nice for performers to realise that you don't have to be in London. You can commute or online. There's lots of options out there to make it work.
Definitely, and I think actually that's maybe one good thing or one really interesting point that has kind of come from the whole coronavirus pandemic, in the sense that a lot of people are getting out of London and realising we want something else. We want to be in the fresh air a little bit more. We want to be more be able to be more accessible to wider areas. So maybe that's bringing people out of London and hopefully, you know, bringing more opportunities to the Northeast.
Yeah,
as
definitely, definitely.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And so obviously with every performer, usually they're self-employed. With the self-employment comes a big responsibility, because essentially you are your own boss and you really need to push yourself and be strict with yourself and hustle to go and find that work. And I think, I mean, everyone that we've interviewed so far has said networking is key. It's not always about what you know, it's about who you know. How relevant is that for you?
Yeah, definitely. I remember when I was younger, obviously it didn't really mean much to me then. It was, I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
Whereas now, like learning to network, it's so easy. No one finds it pushy, no one finds it hard. It's just natural. You sit and having a chat, aren't you? And just like kind of making friends with people to then get opportunities. And although like majority of performers have agents, I know like my agent always says, I work for her, she works for me. It works both ways. And I do think it's so important. You can't expect everything to come to you. You do have to put yourself out there, and the power of social media now is great. Like post even just little clips of yourself singing or dancing or acting. It goes a long way into pushing you forward.
Definitely. And so what if somebody was watching and they said, okay, I really want to be a performer. I haven't got an agent, so I'm going to have to do some shameless self-promotion. That's probably quite an intimidating thought for a lot of people, someone who's not used to putting themselves out there. What would be the biggest tips for someone that didn't have an agent, who was trying to look for that work by themselves? What tips could you possibly give them?
I would just say, just don't be ashamed. Post the video, even if it's just a 30-second clip of a song or a monologue or a dance. once a week, once every 2 weeks. There's no embarrassment in it. Everyone has to start somewhere. Everyone has to push themselves to something, and social media is amazing for that. And so many people get jobs just by posting clips, and you just don't know that could be your break, and you might not need the agent. You've done it yourself.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's such a good point, and I think there's almost sometimes a stigma around promoting yourself and saying almost, you know, I'm really good and I should be proud of it, and there shouldn't be. There really shouldn't, because at the end of the day, social media is free advertising, and we need that, don't we, as performers? Absolutely. So I always ask everybody that we interview this question. If you could give your young self one piece of advice, something that you wish somebody had told you when you were younger, what would it be?
Probably that it is hard and you do need thick skin and you're going to get knockbacks, but every job is worth it. And when you do get that job, when you're singing or dancing or acting, you just become alive. So don't worry, it will happen and you will have that feeling again.
Yeah, oh, that's such good advice, and it's so true. I mean, you know, you're an example of that. So that's amazing. But thank you so much for coming in to talk to us.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. Honestly, I wish we had more time so I could sit and ask you more questions. But no doubt, you know, when COVID is hopefully over very, very soon, we can get you back in and see kind of what's happening with you.
Yeah, definitely.
Brilliant.
Definitely. Thank you.
Thank you.